I wonder if
Okay.
we. I was trying to read through this slowly just to make sure. Uh, the more I read on number one, at first I thought it was dependent samples, and yet I don't know if we're comparing the two countries or if we're comparing undergraduate, master's, and doctoral in high school.
Okay, yeah, that's something I had a question on, but let me reread it real quick because I read it a couple times, but it's like one of those questions you got to go back and reread even if you've read it a couple times. Okay, so what's their data compared to educational level? Okay. David,
Yeah,
what happened to your screen?
I don't know.
Okay. Sorry, I just thought you dropped the call because your screen went out.
No, it is not showing my face, but can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, that's totally fine. I don't mind at all.
I bet you don't.
What? That was a good one. Okay. Okay, you want to
So I guess I
determine.
take the second to the last thing and put you want to determine if
Yeah,
educational levels differ between managers of successful startup companies differs between these two countries.
that's a really confusing question
Yeah.
because it's okay. So you want to determine if education level differs between managers of successful startup companies. Differs between these two countries. Okay, so we're comparing both the education levels between the two countries. So I'm thinking maybe there might have been a typo in there.
Yeah, I think there must be.
That's
So
really
I guess is this one of those? I mean, is it the countries we're comparing, or is it the education levels of startup companies we're comparing? Or two, is it? Are we talking about um, chi squared stuff? You know, where you're saying is one independent of the other?
confusing.
That wouldn't make sense though.
Yeah, because it's not asking whether or not they're dependent or independent. I think it's just asking whether the education levels differ between these two countries for the successful startup companies. So my thought is it's just comparing the education level between both the United States and Korea. So there's the states and Korea. There's the states and Korea. Oh. Hmm. Okay, so as I'm looking at it again, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, because it's gonna be, because it's not gonna. I don't think it's a chart. I don't think it's a. I don't think it's H. I don't think it's chi. Is it chi or chai? I'm gonna say chi.
Yeah,
Okay.
chi squared, chi squared, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Chai.
I've got this statistical chart. I'm going to show it to you. It's the one that we all got from him, but can you see this or not?
No, I think your camera turned off.
Dang. Well, it's that it's that chart for determining, you know, which test to do. So you do, is this quantitative or categorical? So if we can determine quantitative or categorical, what would we say here?
I think this is categorical because it's wanting to determine between the master's degrees and stuff like all the degrees.
because here's the question: does education level differ? Yes or no? That puts it in categorical. If it's
Yeah.
categorical, we're talking about categorical one sample, two sample proportion, or um, chi-square, right? Or chi-square.
Yeah.
Quantity.
Sorry, 1 second. Get out of there! Yeah, get out of there, Missy. I know what you're doing.
I just got a text from Kristen. There she is.
Oh, hello.
Kristen, are you there?
Think we lost her.
She briefly came in.
Yeah, her internet connection's not very good.
So if this is categorical, then this is a sample of two proportions. Kristen, can you hear us?
So you're thinking test of two proportions?
Well, I'm just saying if it's categorical, then we can throw out anything that's quantitative, which is independent sample t-tests, dependent samples, one sample t-test. Throw all that stuff out. T-test, throw it out. Throw out ANOVA. Now we're down to it's either one test of proportions, or test of one proportion, test of two proportions, or chi-squared list of independents.
So my thought was that it was a test of two proportions. That's what I have down.
What number are you on?
Christian just called me. We're working on number 1.
Or number 2?
1. Yeah, we're working on number 1.
Okay.
Okay. David, can you hear Kristen?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you a little better now. So we were going through questions.
One more time, okay?
Okay.
Relax.
Okay, bye.
What's she gonna do?
Try Hangouts one more time.
All right. Samuel. Well, my camera doesn't seem to be shut off, but
It's okay, don't worry about it. That'll be Kristen. Hi, Kristen. What was that?
Did you see me when I got on?
Yeah, like you got on and then you went off.
Well, but could you hear me talking?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I guess it's better to stay on the phone. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So you're on number 1. What did we decide?
Test of two
Oh,
proportions.
cool. What?
We decided on test of two proportions.
Okay.
can you hear all that noise in the background from my end?
It's okay, don't worry about it. It's not very loud.
Can you hear me, David?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
Okay, I can hear you pretty good too. So we're working on number 2?
Yep.
Okay, so are you in concurrence with test of two proportions for number 1?
Yeah, that sounds good. I read over it.
All right. How about number 2? I mean, these are the ones I felt so inadequate on last night and today reading over them. I'm coming to meeting here to reason them out with you guys because my brain's not working on this one.
That's okay.
Human
That's
Resources
fine.
Manager reports data from recent involuntary reduction in force at her company. You are her attorney and want to determine if age discrimination was a factor. Is it illegal to discriminate against your employees because of age? The company reported a number of employees in two age groups: 40 years older and 40 years old and younger, and 40 and over 40 years old. They also reported the number of employees in each group who were terminated. We wanted to determine if both groups were treated equally. Which hypothesis test would be appropriate in this analysis? So,
Well,
first of all, go
would
ahead.
this be a quantitative?
I didn't hear you.
Would this be a quantitative one?
Yeah.
It looks like it's quantitative because we're going to calculate the number of employees and their age.
Well, and there's two sets of data. There's the number of employees in each age group, and there's also the number of employees that were terminated in each age group. So I feel like
So we have the two samples, so it's either going to be the paired samples t-test or the independent t-test.
I feel like it's a paired samples t-test because, I mean, the people or actually no, just kidding, because that wouldn't be right. I want to say that it's an independent sample t-test because, go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
The reason why I'm saying I think it's an independent sample t-test is because you're not they didn't decide who was terminated from the older group because of who was terminated in the younger group. There's no way to correlate that. So I feel like, Sierra, get down. So I feel like
yeah, I think it's independent.
I feel like it would be the independent sample t-test because the number that's terminated from each one are not dependent upon each other. You see what I'm saying?
I agree. So what I wrote down for this one was independent. Unfortunately, I didn't write down the one for number one, so you guys help me on it. Two, I think we're all concurring that we're independent samples here.
Yes.
Hey, Kristen, Kristen, do you have that statistical test chart graph where you kind of go, is it quantitative, categorical, is it two or one? It helps you decipher.
The statistical flow chart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it right here in front of me.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to use too. So, all right, we're on the same sheet of paper. So we're going with independent for number two?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Now, have we officially started the exam yet, or are we just going over
I
paper?
think we should maybe start the exam.
Well, hold on. Let me go and start then.
Yeah, the group meeting. That way we're all on the same page in numbers.
Okay, so I'm going to start the exam. This is for lesson 20, group meeting, yes. Mine is loading. Is yours loading? It's taking an extra long time to load here.
Sounds good.
Hold on. It's making me log in again. Sorry, girls, it's taking just an extra minute here.
No, you're fine. I'm getting mine pulled up as well. Excuse me.
Okay, it's there. Okay, so for number one is we said we're saying that it is a excuse me. Number one is test of two proportions.
So I put E. Or not E, I'm sorry. G.
You're just putting the letter.
Oh yeah, let's put the letter.
Put the letter.
That would be F then, correct? Excuse me, G.
Yeah, one more letter there.
So that would have been bad.
Just a little, you know.
Yeah.
And then for
All
number
right.
3, we have independent sample t-test.
Or we're gonna have to put letters for all these.
Yep. And then,
Okay, so 3 is D.
yep.
4.
Okay. So, so this is another quantitative.
I think this one is categorical.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right, Kristen. It's categorical.
Oh, yeah, it is categorical.
It's categorical. No, you're right. Sorry, I'm the one who messed up.
Okay.
I think it's the chi-squared test of independence.
No heavy waters. There's a second. Which hypothesis test? I think this
You want to determine if the proportion of male
as well.
is
It's
different.
either that or the chi-squared test of independence.
I feel like we only have 2 portions of this one, though, don't you think?
Wait, I think you're right.
David, what do you think?
All right.
You're right,
So
Kristen.
if we look at that, we're talking about it's not one sample. We're either chi-squared or 2 sample.
So you think that one is the 2 proportions as well?
Let me just look at this. I'm looking at some of my notes here, the hypothesis test notes here. So in lesson 18, it was the difference between the P1 is equal to P2, the difference between the proportions. If we went to chi-squared, the chi-squared test is testing the x2 hypothesis as a test of independence between the 2 variables. We're not asking if these are independent, so it can't be chi-squared, right?
Right.
Am I reading that wrong? I mean, of these, you determine a proportion. It's different. So we're not doing chi-squared here.
Yeah,
We're doing test of 2 proportions, right?
yeah, that's what we ended up deciding.
So we're talking about G again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
G for number 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 5. I'm going to read it quietly. Categorical again, is it not?
Quantitative. Wouldn't it be quantitative? Because they're measuring the time.
Maybe you're right. Here I was thinking categorical because they're asking you which one's easier to open. But it's all going to be based on time. You're right. So they're going to be doing a bunch of quantitative tests where we're going to be measuring a bunch of quantitative variables.
Yeah.
If that's the case, we're down to the 2 different locks. Means that we have 2 samples, but they're not dependent upon each other. Are we back to independent samples here?
Yeah, I want to say that it's D. Do you agree then?
I'm thinking D. So, are both of you in agreement that it is
It,
indeed quantitative and not categorical?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're at that spot, are you both in agreement that this isn't dependent? I mean, we're down to 2 samples here. We're not dependent because we're using 2 different locks. They're not the same lock tested differently. Are we in agreement that it's independent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving on to 6.
Ooh, sorry, I'm over here yawning. Okay.
So this is quantitative because it's measuring weight gain, and it's more than 2 samples. So I think it's a NOVA.
Whoa, hello, that's not okay.
For the challenge.
That's weird. I'm missing.
Do you guys think a NOVA?
Sorry, hold on. I'm missing that question. That's weird.
I'm agreeing with you that it's a NOVA. I'm just reading back through it again to see if we're not coming to a decision too quickly and should, in other words, are we getting tricked here or are we thinking the right thing? I'm just rereading the question.
No. Yeah, I don't think so. Because they have to measure the weight gain in order to see if they differ. So that's going to be quantitative, and it's more than 2 samples.
It's got to be a NOVA.
Yeah.
Are you there, Shalise?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Are we agreed?
Hold on, girls. Give me 10 seconds.
You're fine.
Okay. I'll be right back. I gotta grab my charger.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay, is my camera still down?
I don't know. Let me look. Yes.
All right. Sorry, I was just trying to ask the girls to be a little more quiet because they're having a competition during their big go fish game. All right, so are we all on number 7?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, right off the bat, I'm thinking it's quantitative because they're measuring values.
The value? Yeah, the value. I agree.
And there are 2 appraisers, so they're measuring the 2 different values. And yet the bank evaluates 6 properties. Oh, okay, so they're just taking a sample that they both recently appraised. So they're gonna be evaluating 2 samples from 6 samples from each guy, right?
Yeah, I'm just confused on whether it's going to be dependent or independent.
Okay, so the bank picks the same 6 properties. Okay, so the appraisers are looking at the exact same properties.
Yes, which sounds like dependent. In other words, it's like a vaccine.
Dependent or independent?
Dependent.
Paired.
Because I'm just making a case.
Independent as well.
So what are you saying, Shalise, that it's dependent?
Well, yeah, the reason why I'm thinking it's dependent is because, they can't look at the different properties. They each have to look at the same ones, and they have to take them all into complete consideration. So they're not going to be independent because whichever one property an appraiser looks at, the other one has to look at as well.
I just want to make sure here, employs two appraisers. When approving the price performance, it's imperative that the appraisers value the same types of properties consistently. So it's not the same properties, it's the same types. To make sure this is the case, they evaluate 6 properties that both appraisers recently valued. It's a little confusing in the verbiage there. They didn't evaluate the same exact properties, but they're evaluating the same types. So, boy,
Well,
it sure dances on the
it
line between independent and dependent, doesn't it?
says the bank evaluates 6 properties that both appraisers have recently valued. So it has to be one that they both valued already. That would be dependent. They
Okay,
pick.
so
I also think it's dependent because they value one home. I feel like the way they value one home is dependent on how they value the other. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not. It's not even just that. It's the fact that they won't pick a home. They won't pick a property unless both of them have recently valued. So if one has been done but the other hasn't, it's out. If one has done it and the other one has as well, okay, it's in. So it has to be dependent because just deciding which properties you use is dependent on whether both of them have appraised them.
all right, so I'm gonna take the job of devil's advocate here. Not that I disagree, but I think it's good that we do this. When they say to make sure this is the case, the bank evaluates 6 properties that both appraisers. I don't know that it means per se that both appraisers evaluated the same property, other than to say both appraisers have recently they're evaluating properties that both the two appraisers have recently valued, meaning that hey, both of these guys have recently valued similar properties. Is it saying they both evaluated the same property, or is it saying they both recently appraised 6 similar properties?
I'm
That's my
thinking,
question.
well, to me, it sounds like it's the same 6. The bank evaluates 6 properties that both appraisers have recently valued. So I'm feeling that those 6 properties are properties that both of them have looked at.
Okay.
So I'm very confident that it's dependent.
Let's go with C then.
So we're going with C?
C for number 7. I'm in agreement with you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Number 8. So this one right off the bat is categorical.
Yes.
And then it's 2 samples. It's satisfied or very satisfied.
We're talking about F here.
What?
F as in Frank.
Yep.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the I know it's more of the ANOVA test, but when they were, forget it, doesn't matter. When they were talking about President Hinckley and those who had have had gratitude in their lives. Don't know why it reminds me, but it does. Okay, number 9. So number 8 is F. Number 9.
Well, let's see. I believe this one is going to be quantitative.
All right, so it says in the third sentence, you find that an average on-time rate for all international airports in the U.S. is 70%. You collect data and determine the on-time rate for O'Hare. I don't know. I mean, all right. So sell me on the idea that the reason is categorical. What's the question they're asking?
Well, in order to determine the on-time rate, don't they have to collect quantitative data?
I thought you said it was categorical.
No, I said quantitative.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said categorical. So I'm like, sell me on categorical.
Fine. You're fine, but that's why I'm thinking it's quantitative.
All right. So in that case, I think this has got to be a one sample T confidence interval, because for that to happen, we already have the established mean, which is 70%.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with that because we're not aware of the standard deviation.
And going by that chart, once we've established that it's quantitative, we're talking about, okay, we one sample or two sample, and we've only got the one sample. I mean, we've only collected the one, which is the O'Hare times. The other is just an established data already out there. You in agreement with that, Shalise?
Yes, I am.
So we're going B for 9?
B is in boy?
B is in boy.
Okay.
And I found number 10 very charming to read.
You know, that's from our project.
You would think Naomi's taken this class before.
Oh, yeah.
Is she the one who came up with it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Has she taken the class before?
I don't know.
I bet she has. Anyway, let's go on. So it's definitely quantitative.
Yeah.
So and it's a sample because it's double stuffed and regular. And I believe it's going to be the paired sample because in order to say that it's double stuffed, you have to know how much is in the regular.
Yes. And I think if we get this wrong, we should complain, because first of all, when we said independent T sample when submitting to Brother Richmond, he rejected and said, no, think again. And when Shalise submitted dependent sample, he accepted, right, Shalise?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll go. I can double check the email if you'd like.
So I agree with you, Kristen. It should be C as in Charlie, paired sample.
Wait, so what did he say it should be?
Well, initially, Shalise submitted the study as a independent T sample, independent T samples. And he didn't like that. He said, think again, it's not independent. It was in the email he sent to Shalise and to all of us. And so she resubmitted as a paired sample. So you're right on the money. This should be a C, Charlie.
I agree.
And if we get it wrong, I want to complain.
Oh yeah, for sure. If we get it wrong, we'll email him and figure it out. So I'm pretty sure, like almost 100% positive that's the right answer. And then number 11, I got the first one.
Okay, we're on to 11, which is, in my thing, we are number 8.
Yep.
We're talking about number 8. In the quiz, it's number 8. On here, it's number 11. Best defines the notion as a significance level of the hypothesis test. And
for number 11, I put the first one.
hold on there. All right, let me read the. I'm going to read both what I wrote from the book as the definition of p-value and then significance value. For p-value, it says it is the probability of getting a test statistic at least as extreme as the one you get, assuming the null hypothesis is true. That's the p-value. So number 12 should be B, right? And then number 11.
So it's the probability of observing a sample statistic more extreme than the one obtained.
So I'm just doing by deduction here so that we don't get confused. I know for number 12 the definition of the p-value is this. If you look at number 12, it is the probability of getting a test statistic at least as extreme as the one you got, assuming the null hypothesis is true.
Okay.
So that would make number 11 A, because it is the standard to determine whether or not the null hypothesis should be rejected. The probability of a type 1 error. So we all agree, right? 11 is, as Kristen said, 11 is A?
Yep.
Are you going with 12 as B also?
Yes.
Yeah.
For 13, are you choosing D?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said D for 13.
What does your D say?
95% of all 95% confidence intervals actually contain the true mean. The reason I chose that was because the last 2 exams have had this in it. This very answer, well, not this very one, but the idea that 95% of all 95% confidence intervals actually contain the true mean. That was what was in the last exam. If you recall, it was like the last 4 questions. And I chose this answer of 95 of all 95s and got it correct. And so when he reviewed the exam, he went over this whole thing about it. Then he sent emails out during one of when I went to office hours hangout, in which he confirmed that this in his email he put, this is a weird way to say it, but it's correct. What did you choose?
Oh yeah, I think that's right.
I was going to put C up until you said what you said. Did you hear me, David?
Yeah, I did.
But he's making sure.
I'm gonna do y'all a favor here. Just give me a second. And I'm gonna read something to you. If you want to, do you guys want to take just a minute and I'll read this to you so everybody feels a level of confidence, not just in my word for when you take the exam tomorrow. Because he said, now he says, I have a belief that you're going to see this question many, many, many times coming up in the future. So let me just read this to you about confidence intervals. Okay. Are you guys game?
Yes.
He says, there are lots of different ways to think about a confidence interval. However, some of them are correct. Number 1, out of the 5 examples he gives, two of them are correct, and here are the two that are correct. Number one, I am 95% confident that my interval contains the true or population mean. And then number 5, which is approximately 95% of all confidence intervals should contain the true mean. Now he states in here in red, despite the goofiness of the wording in this is also correct. If I am 95% of accomplishing something every time I do it, I would expect that if I did it 100 times, approximately 95% of those times, I would be successful, and approximately 5 times I would fail. I say the word approximately because it is still a random variable and therefore subject to some variation. The other things that he writes, and I won't read the explanation, that are wrong, here's the 3 wrong ways to say it. There is a 95% chance that the true mean is inside my confidence interval. Next way to say it wrong, I'm 95% confident that the sample mean is within my confidence interval. And the last way to say it wrong, 95% of the data are within my confidence interval. So, that said, does it seem these others, are you confident with going with D, or did you read it differently as I read it?
No, you're fine. I believe that's also correct.
Use it for tomorrow, because he said it's going to come up again. It's the 95 of all 95s.
Okay.
And there could be more than one if he does that one.
Okay.
Kristen, you want to direct things? You're kind of the quiet one of the group.
Let me see if she's still here. Let me call her back. Apparently she's gone. No. She didn't answer.
Weird.
Yeah, I know.
Are you getting back on the phone? Question mark.
Well, I just called her.
Okay, and I just texted her.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were asking me. I was like, I'm trying.
You think her battery died?
Probably, but here she is.
Tell you what, let's go forward and we'll just catch her up when she calls in.
She's back.
All right.
Sorry.
Before you left, I was going to ask if you wanted to direct the next few questions since you're the quiet one.
Sure. So, are you on 14?
Third.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay. So, you take a simple random sample of 100 from a town in the U.S. to determine the proportion of those in town who invest in the stock market. Assume the unknown population proportion or percentage of people in town who invest in the stock market is 0.3 or 30%. So what is the mean of the distribution of the sample proportion? So that's going to be the P, which is 0.3, right?
Agreed.
Okay. And then this is going to be a 1 proportion. Wait. So would we put it in the 1 sample to test for the proportion on the Excel?
Well, all you're doing on this is just getting the standard deviation of the distribution of sample proportions. So you're taking P, because to get the standard deviation of P hat, you're going to go p times 1 minus p divided by n and then the square root. That's the standard deviation.
Say that again, because I don't have my notebook with me.
So write this down for the test, because they'll ask it again. To get p hat, or the standard deviation of the distribution of sample proportions, p hat equals p times 1 minus p divided by n. And then that entire thing has a square root over it. So whatever you get between those two, whatever you get from dividing n into p minus or times 1 minus p, you square root that whole answer, and that's supposed to be your standard deviation. For that standard deviation on 15, I got B, which is 0.046. Do you come up with the same thing, girls?
Yes, I got B as in boy. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yep, that's what I got. Sorry, you got Shalise? Shalise?
Yes.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. So, number 16, what is the probability that your random sample of 100 will have a sample proportion less than 0.25? So,
For that one, I put A because that's the you're taking the x minus mu, or the p hat minus p, divided by the standard deviation, which is, you're putting the p hat minus p. You guys know the equation, right? I don't need to tell it to you.
Yeah.
wait, can you say the equation one more time?
So the equation for that one was, you're just getting a z-score out of it. So you've got p hat minus p, and then that's divided by what your standard deviation, and which is p times 1 minus p divided by n, and the entire answer for that is square rooted. So I got the 0.05 divided by the 0.046 and got a z number of negative 1.09. I shaded the left of that in the applet and got 0.138.
Why did you put point? Why did you put point? Did you put 0.05 minus 0.046 or 0.0 or 0.3?
Well, what I did was, if you take p hat, which is in this case 0.25, and you minus, excuse me, 0.30. I'm just reading my previous page here. Okay, so our p-value is 30, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just see here. Let me reread this. The known population of the market is 0.30. So we based our standard deviation off that 0.30
Yeah.
and got 0.046. Now they're asking us, now what's the probability that you're going to get this value, that's going to be less than this value? So that's when we have to do the applet, right? Which is to find a z-score. In order to get a probability, we have to find a z-score. So then I was just plugging in my information, which was, okay, I've got 0.25, which is the value, or p hat, minus p, divided by p1 minus p times 1 minus p divided by n, square root of that, divided into negative 0.05, and I got negative 1.09.
So you got
Z-score.
For a z-score, you got negative 0.1 on,
1.09.
yeah.
Now, did I work this correctly, or are you girls coming up with something that's awfully different?
No, I got it. So 0.138.
And you got the negative 1.09, right?
Yeah, negative 1.09, and then you shade to the left, and you get 0.1379, which is 0.138. So I agree.
Okay.
I think that's right.
And I hope it's right.
If it's not, we're all good.
Hey, Jeremiah,
Okay, so
who's winning?
17. What was that, David?
He was
Oh,
talking
I
about
was yelling out to my boys who was winning the game tonight because BYU's playing Ole Miss. And they were up by like 17 points, and now Ole Miss is going to take the game. Probably.
Are you guys ready for the next section?
Sorry, yes, I'm ready.
No, you're good. So for this one, I used the two proportion, the two proportion z-test on Excel.
Okay. That's what I used.
And then you just type in the x and n.
Did you get D on that one?
Did I get what?
Did you get D, or the fourth answer, which was negative 0.04 to 0.29?
Let me double check. I got C because I did it yesterday, but let me see if I listed the wrong one.
I'll pull mine up again. And,
I'm still getting the C.
okay. Let me put these numbers in again. So we're talking about a total of 2142, right? But of those 2142, group 1 is the ones who experienced dizziness while taking Acupril. So that number for N on that group is 1563, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for N.
All right, for N is 1563, and then we would have 579, excuse me, 61, experienced dizziness. Group 2 had 579 and 15. We're saying that this is a not equal to test, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me look at my... Okay, so down at the bottom, I've got a Z number of 1.458.
Yep, that's what I have.
I'm sorry.
And we're talking about a confidence interval here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you put for a confidence level? 95?
Yeah.
I've got negative 0.003 to 0.029.
I have a question for you guys. I'm just having a hard time reading the question. So for X1 and N1, for N1, is it supposed to be the 1563?
Yep.
And then for N2, is it also supposed to be 1563?
No.
No, it's 579.
Okay, so I have the 579. Okay, so then on that first one for X1, Would it be 61 and then x2 be 15?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure, because for some reason, it was not making sense in my mind.
Now, Kristen, are you getting the negative 0.003?
I am.
Yeah, so I got C as in Charlie. Is that what you were saying earlier?
No, because on my... Let me just look here. Hold on. For the test, they lost. Well, let me just scroll down here. Okay. Negative 0.003. You know what? You're right. I agree with you because if I look, what's after the 3? A 9? Which rounds it up? It's got to be 17 as C.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my number 14 from the homework page, and that one is the last one, negative 0.003 to 0. I'm mixed. I shouldn't look at 1 because it confuses me when I look at the test. I'm giving you the right answer from the homework, and it's not the same on the test or on the quiz here.
Yeah.
You notice that? All right. 18.
So what would number 17 be then?
I got B.
Go ahead, Shalise. What did you say about 17?
What was number 17 then?
C. It's negative 0.004 to 0.029.
That's weird. Why would it be that one?
Why would it be C?
Because it's the closest one to what we have on here.
Can you guys see me?
If you look at number 14 on the paper handout, the answer is E. But on the
Please, can you see me?
What'd you say?
Look. Yes, I can see you.
Oh, finally, I'm getting on Hangout.
Shalisa, I was saying, if you look on our quiz, the answer is E for 14. But here on the quiz, it's the third one, or C.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, number 18. Perform a hypothesis test to see if the proportion of...
For that one, I got B.
I chose B also.
Yeah, because it's just saying it's different. So. And then 19, I got D.
I've got 1.458. Yeah, I'm just trying to look off my paper here.
From Excel. And then 20, I got D as well.
That's what I've got.
Okay.
Here.
All right. So 21, I said, because it says, is there sufficient evidence to conclude that the true proportion of people who take it is different than the true proportion of people who experience dizziness? And I said, no, I failed to reject the null.
Agreed, because we're 14% and greater than 5.
Yeah. And so, because we didn't reject it, there's insufficient evidence, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, the fifth one on that one.
So no, I failed to reject the null is what you guys got as well?
Uh-huh.
That's correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. So this one we use the chi. on number 22.
Yep.
Yes, I did. I used the Chi and plugged it into the Excel.
Me too.
And on that, I put the. Let's just make sure. Is this the? This isn't the. Let me make sure I know which one this is. 1200 randomly. They've mixed this up a little bit.
They mixed what up?
Well, hold on. Okay, here we are. I was getting ahead of myself on my pages. The test statistic. Okay, I calculated A, or it was 6.580.
Yep, that's what I got.
I have as well.
How about the P?
Let me go back. I got 0.087.
Same.
Yeah.
Or D for me.
Yeah, same thing. And then 24, I said no because the p-value is greater than 0.05.
Agreed.
Also agree.
And then 25, I said no because, no because I failed to reject HO, or the null hypothesis.
So no, the P-value agreed. No. That's what I've got. 2. No, yep. Okay.
So the very last one, is that what you got?
I got the very last one, which was no, I failed to reject null hypothesis.
Okay. So number 26. A recent book noted that only 20% of all investment managers outperform the Dow Jones Industrial Average over a 5-year period. A random sample of 200 investment managers that had graduated from one of the top 10 business programs in the country were followed over a 5-year period. 50 of these outperformed the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let P be the true proportion of investment managers who graduated from one of the top 10 business programs who outperformed the Dow Jones. So, do you think that this is a quantitative?
They put it as categorical here because it almost gives it away that it's categorical because they say P, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was very, very confused about this. But what I did was I put it into the one proportion applet on the Excel for categorical. Even though it feels like a one sample T statistic, because they give you a known variable and you need to see if you can outperform it. But that being said, it says P, so it can't be, right? They're talking about proportions.
Yeah.
It's like mixing apples and oranges. So I just plugged everything into the one proportion applet, which is still going to give us, it's going to give us everything you want.
I mean, I got C on it.
I put C, it was the 0.190 to 0.310. Do you want to work it together to make sure you feel comfortable and confident that this is the right answer?
So you put it in the one sample z-test for a proportion?
No, I put it in the one sample proportion test. Well, maybe we're talking about the same thing.
Oh, I think we
Yeah, I put it in categorical, not quantitative.
So what did you put for 26?
We put that it was, hold on, let me flip the page here. I put 0.190 to 0.310.
You're done. Bye.
Oh, so would that be B?
Hold on.
Hey, I have a question for you guys. Sorry, I had to answer that phone call, but for 26, did you guys put 0.195 and 0.315?
We're
Hold
still
on,
working
guys.
on it.
Let's put this one together because I got to put this down here. I'm going to go to one proportion. It is 200. Now this is odd because the quiz is number on our handout quiz. It's number 23, right?
Yes.
Which is C, 0.190 and 0.310.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that option in this one.
You're right. It doesn't put it in here. This is really bizarre.
So I'm guessing we choose C, which is closest.
Well, let's put in the numbers that it gives us. Like when I read the quiz, for instance. Oh, this really displeases me here.
I know, it's frustrating.
Hold on. I'm going to put in different numbers here. What if I put in for this that it was 40? That would give us 0.145 and 0.255. And the test doesn't have that. This is a little frustrating. Why would we get...
I'm guessing it might have been like a mistake or something, but I'm guessing we picked the one that's closest.
0.31. Well, B and C are the same answer. Excuse me, no they're not. No they're not. You're talking C here, right?
Yeah, just because that's the closest. I'm guessing it might have been a mistake or something. But, like,
No.
if we do get it wrong, we need to argue it, because that's the one that's closest and the correct answer isn't an option. Ow, get off of me. Ow! Hey, will you close that door? Thank you.
Okay, we'll revisit 26. I just wanted to make sure we read the question so there was nothing different about the question. Hey, Shalise?
Yes.
Do you have your eyes on the paper handout?
Which one?
Question 23.
Oh, the actual quiz? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read from the actual quiz on the computer here. Tell me if this is word for word what you're seeing written in the handout quiz, okay?
All right.
A recent book noted that 20% of all investment managers outperformed the Dow Jones Industrial average over a 5-year period. A random sample of 200 investment managers that had graduated from one of the top business programs in the country were followed over a 5-year period. 50 of those outperformed the Dow Industrial average. Let P be the true proportion of investment managers who graduated from one of the top 10 business programs who outperformed the Dow Industrial over a 5-year period. Same?
Yep, identical.
Then why did it mess this up?
I don't know, that's weird.
That's something else we can argue if it's wrong.
Because P is 25, or it would be 50, right? 50
Yeah.
people. That would be a 0.25. Gosh. Alright, let me look one last time again then. It's not going to change any if I change the null hypothesis. No, that just changes p-value only. And if I go to 50, okay, we'll just put C for this one then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is. Okay, 27.
Yep. Um, suppose you've been in charge. So you have to do that weird formula thing.
So the formula I put for this one, if you guys got the same, it was a z over m in parentheses squared times p star times 1 minus p star.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Z, did you say Z over M or N?
M.
Yeah, m is in Mary, which is the margin of error, which would be 0.02, or the margin here is 2% or 0.02.
Squared times what now? I'm sorry.
So it's the z on this, which is 1.96 divided by 0.02, and that answer would be squared. It's like 98 or something squared, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Times p star, in this case, which is 0.25, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be
Yeah.
0.75 times 0.25 times that 9,000 number. Should give you 1,800.75 and round up.
Wait a second. So the Z star is 1.96, right?
Right?
Divided by the 0.02,
Yes.
which I got 98 times 98 equals 9,604.
Yes.
I'll bring it to square root that one as well.
And then
I'm sorry, I'm lost on this one.
0.8 times 0.2 equals.
Oh, are you doing 0.2 on this?
Sorry, well, isn't it,
It's going to be 0.02 for the margin of error.
sorry, what did you use, David?
I used p star.
Well,
And p star is the prior estimate.
oh, sorry.
So you guys might be absent. Let me just see here. The prior estimate is not 0.25, it's 0.20.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So
It is
it's going to
0.20.
change this answer. Yeah, so 0.2 times 0.8 equals 0.18. Did I get that right? No. 0.2 times 0.8 is 0.16. So if we did, what was the total amount that you got? 9,000 and what?
9,604.
It should be 1537 then. B.
Yep, that's what I got, B.
I used the 0.25 and made the mistake of not using I used the p hat, not the prior estimate. Shalise, did you feel confident with that formula?
I'll have to ask you about it a little bit later. I don't have my right notebook with me.
Okay.
Sounds good.
28.
Let's see. So it's got to be A, B, or C, and it's not B.
So these next number of questions, I came up with some question marks on. So
Well, 28 I think is C.
all right.
And then 29 I think is C as well.
Let me read this over again. So use the following. Suppose you see that there is an evidence that graduates of the top business programs perform better than the other investment managers. Conduct hypothesis tests. Use significant. Well,
so
here's
wouldn't it be
where I was
greater
concerned.
than?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying it was saying it performs better, so it would be greater than the 0.2.
Well, see, and there's my question. and I'm going to play devil's advocate. As you read back through that Dow Industrial statement, when it says conduct a test, and it says 50 of them outperformed the Dow Industrial average, but the hypothesis doesn't say did they do better or worse. It didn't even say were they different. So I'm not sure how to go on this one.
Well, the reason I choose C is because you're trying to see if one of them performs better, which means it would be greater than the national average. Well, yeah, that's my reasoning, because it's saying if it did better, it would be greater than the 0.2.
So I'm tending to agree with you. I think what I was picking a bone at the ambiguity of this test or this question was because a lot of times we get data which is different than the known number.
No, yeah, and that makes total sense, and I understand.
And yet on this one, it shows that 50 outperformed it, but it doesn't say do a hypothesis test to see if it's greater or less than or different. It doesn't even say that. It's ambiguous on that. And it leaves us to choose, well, does that mean that they outperformed? We're supposed to... Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I understand. But I'm pretty sure on this one it's the greater than, just because it's saying they did better than.
All right, so null hypothesis P equals 0.02, or 0.2. Null hypothesis P greater than 0.2.
How do you feel about that?
I'll go with it. It seems to be, in an ambiguous question, why not? That seems our best choice.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. Okay, number 29. I got C on that one.
Yeah.
NP is greater than 10?
Yeah.
And N1 minus P is greater than 10.
I concur.
Okay. And so, so
27. I chose A.
Same here.
Wait, are you on, is it 30 on the quiz?
Yeah,
Sorry.
on the actual quiz it's
Sorry,
30.
30. I chose 1.768.
So did you guys type this into the one proportion?
Yeah.
I typed it into the one proportion.
So for X, what did you put?
50, and then N is 200.
Hold on. Let me go back and see which one we're talking about. The morning person. Okay, let me see if I have that still up in an applet.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Here's the Z. Z is 1.768, and then the p-value I got 0.077.
Make sure that the type of test is greater than.
Oh, that's right. Good call. So 0.039.
Yeah.
So going back to, let me get back here. Hold on, scratching some. For 22, we're going with 6, excuse me.
What? What?
I'm lost on my, where are we at?
Get down. Get down. Get off the bed, I said. Get down.
Hold on, guys. Let me find where my morning person thing is here. Okay, based on your be patient with me. I'm looking for my information on. We just calculated the. What number are we on the paper?
On the paper, we're on number. Which one are you trying to work on?
Well, it should be number 22, but on the paper, that's what?
Oh, you're on number 22. Get down, I said! Get down! Jeez.
Kristen, do you remember which number we are on the paper?
I'm looking at the group quiz.
Oh, you don't have the paper in front of you from the.
I can pull it up just a second.
Did you guys finish number 32 on the group quiz already?
I'm still at 22 on the group quiz.
Let me scroll up.
Oh, hold on, we're already past that. Forget it. I'm trying to find. Okay, I'm on number 30 in the group quiz now.
So,
Number
30 on the
30.
group quiz is.
oh yeah, I'm on number 30 as well. And I got
Number 30.
That's number
1.768.
27. Okay, I've got it.
Yeah.
So then on this one I got value of the test statistic was 1.768, correct? A?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then on this one, the second one, because it was less than, it was 0.039.
Greater than.
Excuse me. The p-value is 0.039.
Yes.
And that gives me the ability to reject the null hypothesis.
Uh-huh. So I put, for number 32 on the group quiz, I put yes, I rejected the null.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Yeah, because it's one-sided. Okay. Are there any questions which we left blank?
I'm getting ready to go back and look really quick. Over
Yes,
it.
I left number 24 blank. Okay, let me go back and get number 24 here. The p-value. You know, do you mind if we just go from the beginning real quick and just hit the highlights again? I'm just going to give answers, make sure we're on the same sheet here. I'm 1 true, 2G,
Yep.
3D.
Yep.
Are you with us, Kristen?
Are you okay? You're looking on the group quiz, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just going on the
Okay.
group because I'm just going
Yep.
from top to bottom.
Yep, you're fine. Keep going.
Okay, 4G,
Yep.
5D,
Mm-hmm.
6E,
Mm-hmm.
7 Charlie C,
Yep.
8 F as in Frank,
Yep.
9 B boy,
Yep.
Yes.
10 C Charlie,
Mm-hmm.
11 is A,
Uh-huh.
12 is B,
Uh-huh.
13 D,
Uh-huh.
14 D,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
15 B boy,
Uh-huh.
16 is A,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
17 C Charlie,
Uh-huh.
18 is B boy,
Uh-huh.
19 D David,
Yep.
20 is D David,
Yep.
21 A B C E Edward,
Yep.
Yep.
which is no, I failed to reject.
Yep.
22 is A Apple.
Yep.
23 is D David.
Yep.
And I didn't put down what 24 was when we went over it.
I put E on that one.
Yeah, no, the p-value is greater than 0.05.
And so give me just 1 second. I'm just going to go back here. I want to make sure that I didn't overlook something on that. That's what we were talking about. Okay, morning person. For that I had 6.5. Okay, and the next one I had 0.0087. Yes, okay. So we did E, which was the p-value is greater than 0.05, correct?
Yeah, do you think that's right, David?
Yes, I do, because that's what well, it has to be because number 23's p-value is 0.087 or 8.7%. That's greater than 0.05.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, 25 is F as in Frank. No, I failed to reject.
Mm-hmm.
26 is C Charlie,
Yep.
our questionable one. 27 B Boy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
28 C Charlie.
Yep.
29 C Charlie.
Yep.
30 is A Apple.
Mm-hmm.
31 is B Boy. 32 A Apple.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
I feel good about it.
Okay.
Ready, go. Oh, are you serious?
Wow, that stunk.
Oh, man. See, we did everything right except for the
It's the
hypothesis
beginning.
test. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's all those things, man, that killed us.
Dang it. 11 is not supposed to be wrong. Look at 11.
Yeah, that's...
It's supposed to be absolutely right.
Yeah, that one's right.
Hold on here. Find significance on hypothesis test. Okay, that's the probability of getting a oh, you know what? We screwed up.
How?
11 is C Charlie. It is C Charlie. And no, I even read over that together, and we came up and we screwed that up because I read both examples. We got 12 absolutely correct. You remember when and we just wrote it down wrong, but when I read the hypothesis level, which was to determine whether or not the null hypothesis should be rejected or the probability of type 1 error. That's just an oversight.
Okay.
Now look, if you guys will go to class office hours at 4:30 on Friday, they'll let you take this over, and you can get these right. Besides, you can find out the answers.
4:30 on Friday.
4:30 Friday. Just go to office hours, which you'll find when you open up your entire iLearn. Look under My Instructor, the very first thing there, and you will see his Adobe app. You'll see his phone number, and then you'll see Adobe app connect. Hit connect. Sign yourself as a guest. Put your name in the box, and he'll see everybody in in the order that you came in, and the reward for attending these is that he gets you a retest on whichever quiz you want.
Hmm.
And this one's a big, more than anything, this is the one we really want to know the true answer to these 1 through 9. It just killed us.
Ugh, I struggle with those. Those are so hard. What? Hold on. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go if that's okay.
All right, guys, have a nice night.
You too. Thanks for
Good
your
luck
help.
tomorrow.
You too. We'll see ya.
Yep.
Bye.
Okay, Shalise.
How's it going?
That can all be fixed tomorrow or Friday when he lets you do a redo.
Yeah, it has to be Friday.
Any questions before tomorrow?
No, I wish I had some.
Okay, I guess I can end the broadcast. Are we getting credit for attending this thing or not?
I assume so.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going through my stuff here. Okay, so number 24 on your sheets, on your papers.
Yeah.
What was the equation that you used again?
So the equation for that, there's two equations, and you want to write them both down. It says
Yeah.
how to determine a sample size with known prior estimate, and then how to determine a sample size without prior known estimate. There's an equation for both.
Okay.
So the equation for with prior estimate is, in parentheses, z star over m. And the reason it's z star so that you don't think it's a z-score, it's like z star as in 1.96, or, if it's the
Confidence interval.
confidence interval of z star. So it's in parentheses z star over m, and outside the parentheses squared,
Uh-huh.
times p star, which is prior known estimate that they give you, p star times 1 minus p star. That number, whatever you get, if it's point something, you round it up. Like
Okay,
in our
so
case, we got, 15,
okay, one
whatever, and we
second.
rounded it
One
up.
second. So it's z star over m squared times p star times 1 minus p star?
That is correct.
So
That's with known prior estimate.
there's no minus or addition or anything like that. So it's just z star over m squared times p star times 1 minus p star. It's not divided or anything like that.
The only thing divided is the m, which is the margin of error, which they gave us in that problem, which was, within a 2% margin of error, then it's m is 0.02. If it's an 8% margin of error, 0.08.
Okay, and what's the other one?
The other one for without is z star divided by 2m, 2 times m, in parentheses, of course, and then outside the parentheses, squared.
Okay,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed. If I have any other questions before I take the test, I'll be sure to call you if that's okay.
Sounds good. And likewise, I might all of a sudden have a brain block tomorrow and need to call you.
That's fine.
Hey, I appreciate you showing up. You sound like you're still suffering with that nasal thing.
No. I think I might have. It's just like my voice is just tired from all the talking at school today.
So this is just your normal radio whiskey voice?
Uh, it's my Shalice learn how to shut up throughout the day voice.
I'm kidding you.
No, I know.
Sounds good. Well, good luck tomorrow, and if I'm at the base, but feel free to call, and like I say, I think I've called you either the day of or the day before, when I had a brain block, just trying to get a last bit of information, vice versa. Cool.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
All right. Good night. Take care of yourself.
Night.
All right. Bye bye.